Has someone ever yawned and suddenly you couldn't stop yourself from yawning too? In fact, you might even yawn while watching this video. But why does that happen? Is yawning actually contagious, or is your brain secretly copying other people? One person opens their mouth wide, takes that deep, satisfying breath, and almost like a ripple in a pond, the urge spreads. You might even yawn while watching this video. But why does that happen? Is yawning actually contagious, or is your brain secretly copying other people? We've all been there, in a meeting, a classroom, or on the couch with family, when one person lets out a big yawn and a chain reaction begins. It feels almost involuntary, a force of nature taking over your own body for a brief, stretchy moment. It's like a tiny, silent wave that travels through a room, from one face to another, without a single word being exchanged. What is this universal signal we all seem to share? Is it just a sign of boredom or sleepiness? Or is there something more profound going on beneath the surface? The truth is, a yawn is much more than just a deep breath. It's a complex interplay between your body's needs and your brain's deep-seated social programming. A window into the very wiring that makes us human. So what is a yawn, really? And why does it jump from person to person? We're diving into the science. What triggers yawns? Why you catch them from loved ones? Whether dogs catch human yawns? And what it reveals about how connected our brains really are. Try not to yawn, I dare you. Let's start with the basics. We all know the feeling. That powerful, almost unstoppable urge. Your mouth opens wide, much wider than you would for a normal breath. You inhale a large volume of air. Your eardrums might feel a slight pressure change. Your eyes may water a little. And then comes the slow, controlled exhale, often accompanied by a satisfying stretch of your facial muscles and even your arms. This entire sequence, lasting just a few seconds, is what we call a yawn. It's a reflex, a stereotyped action pattern, remarkably consistent from person to person and across many species. For a long time, people thought yawning was about oxygen. Shallow breathing leads to CO2 buildup, and a yawn gulps in O2 to fix it. Logical, but experiments didn't back it up. People breathing oxygen-rich air didn't yawn less. Something else had to be going on. Modern theory, yawning cools the brain. Your brain is like a supercomputer. It needs a tight temperature range. When it gets too warm, from sleep deprivation, intense focus, or higher ambient temperature, performance can suffer. A powerful inhalation brings cooler air in. A big jaw stretch boosts blood flow near air-filled sinuses. That blood cools there, like a radiator, then returns to the brain. This explains why we yawn when tired, and even before a big task, a quick automatic system refresh preparing our most vital organ, ensuring it runs at the best possible temperature for peak performance. Now we arrive at the most intriguing part of the puzzle. Why is yawning so contagious? You see someone yawn, you hear someone yawn. Even just read the word yawn, and suddenly you're fighting the urge yourself. Is this real biology or imagination? The answer is yes, it's very real. But it's not contagious like a germ. The contagion happens within brain networks. It's social contagion, behavior spreading through observation. Scientists call it echophenomena, automatic imitation of another person's words or actions. Contagious yawning is the most common example. Newborns yawn spontaneously, likely for physiology like brain cooling, but they don't catch yawns. The contagious response typically emerges around age 4 or 5, a big clue. It suggests contagious yawning isn't a simple reflex, it's linked to sophisticated social cognition. In labs, about 50% of adults yawn within 5 minutes of watching yawning videos, in person, on a screen, or just hearing the sound. So, what in our brains makes us mirror yawns? Neuroscience points to a special kind of neural Wi-Fi. The leading theory points to a fascinating class of brain cells called mirror neurons. Discovered in the 90s in macaque monkeys, certain neurons fired when a monkey reached for a peanut, and when it simply watched another do the same, even a human. It was as if the brain internally simulated the action it observed, a game changer for neuroscience. This system helps us understand actions and intentions by feeling them. When you see someone smile, your brain simulates smiling. When someone picks up a cup, you grasp they might be thirsty. A building block for learning, imitation, and social interaction. Now, back to yawning. When you see a wide-open mouth, a deep inhalation, a stretching face, mirror neurons for those motor patterns fire, creating a subconscious, internal yawn. For many, that internal simulation crosses a threshold and triggers a physical yawn. It's automatic, a neurological echo. Your brain sees an action and says, "Hey, I know how to do that," and then it just does it. The impulse originates in primitive social circuitry, bypassing deliberate, conscious parts of your mind. We constantly, often unconsciously, mirror people around us, and the contagious yawn is one of the most visible, universal manifestations. The story gets even more compelling when we move beyond mimicry into emotion. Mirror neurons intertwine with empathy, our ability to share another's feelings. Empathy makes you wince at a paper cut and feel joy when a friend achieves a dream, the glue of social groups. Studies show a strong correlation. People scoring higher on empathy are significantly more likely to catch yawns in lab videos, a direct measurable link between a social emotion and a physical reflex. When we catch a yawn, it may signal unconscious attunement, a micro-synchronization of internal state. Some studies report that children on the autism spectrum, who can have differences in social-emotional perception, are less likely to catch yawns, yet they yawn spontaneously just as often. This is correlation, not a diagnostic measure, but it suggests evolution co-opted an ancient reflex for a social purpose. Yawning became part of nonverbal communication, a subtle way bodies express resonance, a primitive form of saying, "I see you, and I'm with you." If contagious yawning is tied to empathy and connection, we should expect it more with people we're closest to, and research shows exactly that. The effect isn't uniform, it scales with the bond, highest among family and close friends, lower for acquaintances, lowest for strangers. In natural settings, researchers tracked who yawned first, the trigger, and who responded. The results were striking. Likelihood peaked for close genetic relatives, parents and siblings, slightly lower but high for close friends, then dropped for acquaintances and strangers. Our brains tune more to our in-group, we're invested in loved ones, so neural mirroring is stronger. Not just humans, chimpanzees and wolves show similar patterns, an ancient strategy reinforcing group cohesion and belonging. While about half of adults readily catch yawns, many seem immune. They can sit through a chorus without reacting. Why? There's no single cause. It's a mix of age, individual brain differences, and current attention. Contagion appears around 4 or 5 as empathy and theory of mind develop, seems to peak in young adulthood, and may gradually decline with age. Older adults might be slightly less likely to catch yawns, possibly tied to subtle changes in social processing or attention. Brain wiring matters. Reduced contagion appears in individuals with schizotypy and in those with psychopathic traits, not diagnostic, but linking the reflex to social emotional circuitry. Finally, attention. If you don't see or hear a yawn, you can't catch it. Deep focus filters the cue. Perception is required for mirror neurons to react. Non-yawn catchers are diverse, a blend of development, neurology, and situational focus. Yawning extends beyond our species. Spontaneous yawning is widespread. Fish, reptiles, birds, nearly all mammals. A snake yawns to realign jaws after a meal. A lion yawns massively before a hunt. But what about contagious yawning? Contagion is rarer, seen in socially advanced species, including dogs. Yes, dogs can catch human yawns. In typical experiments, dogs yawn more after an owner's authentic yawn than a fake mouth movement, suggesting sensitivity to genuine yawn cues. Like humans, social closeness matters. Dogs catch yawns more from owners than strangers. Even the sound of a familiar yawn can be a stronger trigger. It points to a form of canine empathy. And beyond dogs, chimpanzees, bonobos, wolves, even budgerigars show patterns where bonded pairs yawn together more. Across species, contagious yawning seems to synchronize behavior and reinforce social cohesion. Myth busted. It's not primarily about getting more oxygen. While there's a deep breath, brain cooling is the stronger driver. Clenching your jaw or breathing through your nose might sometimes help, but the neural program often completes once it starts. Fun facts. The average yawn lasts about 6 seconds, and yes, you can even yawn in your sleep. Fetuses have been observed yawning around 11 weeks, long before their first breath, more evidence it's not about respiration. Simply thinking or reading about yawning, like right now, can trigger a yawn. Scientists propose a vigilance role. In ancient groups, shared yawns may have synchronized transitions between rest and alertness, making everyone more ready together. Research continues with fMRI, probing circuits, neurotransmitters, and hormones in spontaneous versus contagious yawning. So next time you yawn, remember, you're engaging in ancient biology that tells a story about brain temperature, empathy, and the invisible bonds that connect us. Did you yawn while watching this video? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering the hidden science behind everyday life, don't forget to subscribe.